Nobody truly knows what true potential is, but I do know what is less than I can accomplish. I don't hit the mark 100%, but I'm pretty hard on myself. If I drop below baseline, absolutely unacceptable. Motivation comes and goes as quick as can be. What motivates me? I absolutely hate this question, but what are the things that make me keep accomplishing? Every day I push hard and every day I'm very driven. So here are the top 3 things that push me to keep going. Number 1, this is why I show up. Welcome back to another episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. I'm your host, Christy Code Red, author, entrepreneur, retired professional boxer. And in this episode, I'm gonna read something that I screenshotted because it's one of many things that I get asked on this subject. I absolutely hate this question, but I can understand why so many people would have this question. And over the last 30 years, I've been in this industry. In the last 14 or so that I've been doing Code Red like this, I've been asked this question countless times. What motivates me? What motivates me? Now, I don't even use the word motivation. It's not even in my vocabulary, but for the sake of you guys, because you guys say it, I'm going to say it so that you know because I know what you mean. I just hate the word, and I don't like the question, but I understand. Like I said, I understand why you ask it. Here was a DM that I got. This was regarding a hiking in Tucson this past end of March with the coaches for our annual coach trip. And the question was, what's your motivation when climbing up these hills? Music? Self-reflection? What makes it feel worth it? I love hiking. I'm just curious what you'd like to do when you're hiking, because music can sometimes feel overstimulating. So I think the whole question, the whole DM was obnoxious. But the part that's, what's your motivation when climbing up these hills? Music, self-reflection. And I didn't even answer her back. Maybe I did. I think I just said something like, I don't use the word motivation. That's not even in the realm of my vocabulary or anything that I do. I don't use the word motivation. I don't like it. I know what you're saying. I know what you're asking, but it's not what you need to be saying. You don't need to say, what's your motivation comes and goes as quick as can be. It's but a vapor, like the Bible says. The Bible says our life is but a vapor. Motivation is but a vapor. Okay, it comes and goes within a second. And it's not a good way to gauge anything because it's just fleeting. It just comes and goes really quick. So you guys all want to know, what is my motivation for doing what I do, being how I am, which I don't think is spectacular, but to some of you it is. So let's talk about my top 3 motivations. All right. Again, I don't like that word and I don't use that word, but what are the 3 things that make me keep going and keep pushing and keep accomplishing? And I sat here for a while with my pen and my paper and I was like, if I had to narrow it down, I like the number 3. You guys know 1 isn't enough and 2 isn't enough and 4 is too many. 3 is a really great number because people can wrap their head around 3 things. They like it. It feels good to them. They can remember 3 things. It flows really easily. That's why I say author, entrepreneur, retired professional boxer. Any of my coaches or mentors who do videos, everybody has to have an approved video intro that they say at the beginning of every video, and it's always a set of 3 things about them: a mom, a grandma, and a business owner, or a wife, a grandma, and an endocrinologist. It's always 3 things, and so 3 is a great number for the human mind to be able to comprehend. So we're going to talk about my top 3 motivations. Now, the reason I don't like to talk about this publicly is because people automatically think, once they hear what motivates me and what drives me forward, they think that I now judge them for not being that way. And nothing could be further from the truth. I don't judge you. I don't project my judgments on you. My measuring stick for myself is not what I put up against you. I mean, I was just talking to Andrea about this the other day. I was frustrated with somebody that we know not pushing themselves hard enough. And I said, the problem is I'm putting my expectations for myself, I'm projecting those on her, because why wouldn't she want to push herself hard? And she just doesn't. Like, the way she is perfectly fine with her. And to me, like, I'm like, you have so much more potential, And so I don't, it's wasting too much brain space to sit and judge the crap out of you. I don't care. I'm not doing that. I'm not sitting and judging you because you're not like me. I don't want to get messages from you guys and nasty comments now underneath this video because you are now embarrassed because you don't live your life like me, or because you don't, when I'm just describing to you what I think about myself. Don't internalize that. If you want to use it to maybe change the way you feel about yourself, that's fine. But don't be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to avoid Christy at the mall now, or avoid Christy at the airport because I'm not, she thinks I'm not this way, or I'm just a blank. I don't think that. It's just my own way to measure myself. These are the top 3 things that push me to keep going in every area of my life. That's it. That's the bottom line. And believe me, I don't hit it 100% every time, or I'd be super lean and I would have my life would be perfect. And I would have a perfectly trained dog, and I would have money coming out my ears, and I would I don't hit the mark 100%, but these are things, but I'm pretty hard on myself. And I every day I push hard, and every day I'm very driven. So here are the top 3 things that push me to keep going, whether it be in athletics, whether it be in business, whether it be as a dog trainer, whether it be with my hair, with my makeup, whatever I'm doing, messing with my hair. If you're watching on YouTube, I just got back from the gym training hard. But I wanted to whip out this podcast. And so whatever I do really in my life, I hold myself to these 3. These are my top 3 reasons and how I push hard. Number 1. My number 1 motivation, I don't think these really are in any order, but the number 1 motivation that keeps me pushing hard is my fear of being mediocre. Now, again, I can already hear the comments. I have a measuring stick of what I think is mediocre for me. But that is not, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because I am telling you right now, I've been in this industry 30 years. I know what's going to happen. You're going to think I'm judging you because you are the what I don't want to be, is in some case. You're going to think, oh my gosh, that's me. And she's driven by not wanting to be me. Well, this is why I didn't want to say it. Okay. But yeah, I have in my mind what is mediocre. Mediocre for me is, and again, I'm trying to choose my words carefully, but mediocre for me is what I believe is less than what I can do. Now, no one will ever reach their true potential. That's absolutely impossible. If you think your true potential is making $1 million, you could have made 1.1 million. That might be your true potential. Maybe 2 million is your true potential. We don't know. You could make 10 million. Well, what if 10.2 million is your true potential? You'll never, if your true potential is 10% body fat, then you could go to 9% body fat. You really can't reach your true potential. Nobody truly knows what your true potential is. You will have, I accomplished goals for myself. I mean, I thought I would love to write a book. Well, then I wrote 7 books. At first I thought my true potential was to be a published author. And so I wrote my first book, The Code Red Revolution. And then I went on to write many more and publish many more and print them and sell them. And so it's not, you don't really know your true potential. So I'm not saying that, but I do know what is less than what I can accomplish. And the Bible says, I'm going to butcher. I don't even have my Bible next to me here. For he who knows what to do, and if he knows what sin is, I'm paraphrasing, and he does it anyway, that's sin. So if you know the right thing to do and you choose the wrong thing, that is sin. So for me, I know what I need to do, and if I go below that, that is mediocre. That is less than what I need to be doing. That is less than what I should be doing. Mediocre for me would be a certain size, letting myself get too overweight, letting myself get too much body fat. That's mediocre. That's just the status quo. That's the norm. Like not reaching a certain revenue goal in my business. That's like, oh, Christy, why are you so hard on yourself? That's mediocre. That's less than what I know I can do and what I should do. There are things about, you can have big goals. I'm not talking about big goals. I'm saying just the baseline for me. If I drop below baseline, really, absolutely unacceptable. My biggest fear is being normal. My biggest fear is blending in. I do not want to blend in. Now, yes, I did grow my mohawk out, and yes, I did take the fashion colors out. I don't have the rainbow colors anymore, and I do blend in a little bit more. However, I kind of don't think I do. I think that my energy when I enter into a room, I think that the way I smile, the way I carry myself, the way I walk, the way I make eye contact with people, I do draw attention when I walk in a room. I know it and I like it, and I capitalize on it. Like I make sure that I walk in the room and heads turn. I want that. I do not want to blend in. Whenever I step out into public, I'm wearing something that shows off my hard work in the gym. It shows off my good, clean diet. It's an outfit that best accentuates the better parts of my body and hides the parts that I'm working on. I try to wear makeup that flatters my face, that brings out my true beauty. I don't always hit the mark. You guys know that you follow me on my makeup tutorial channel. You know that I miss the mark sometimes on my makeup, and that's totally okay. But I go out into public knowing and meaning to not blend in. I do not want to blend in. I want to stand out when I walk down the street. I want to stand out when I walk in the bank. I want to stand out when I even walk into church, but not in the wrong way. I know that's kind of cringy when you hear me say that, but for the right reasons. I want to stand out when I walk through TSA. I want to stand out when I'm boarding the plane. I want to be the person that stands out. I do not want to blend in. That is my personality type. I want to be center stage. I want to be the one. Give me a microphone. I don't care if it's in front of 2 people or 20,000 people. I've been this way for many years. Especially because I know I have something that needs to be said, and something that brings hope and healing to people, and something that when they hear my story of rags to riches, when they hear my story of a poor Idaho farm girl going from food stamps to 10 million in 3.5 years, that's a really fun, awesome, super cool story. And I love to tell it. And I don't mind telling it. I don't feel embarrassed. I don't feel shamed. Because I want to tell my story. I love my story. And so I want to tell my story any chance I get. Now, everybody who knows me, everybody who has met me, all of you guys know, when I meet you, I am quiet and I ask you about you, and I listen and I remember things about you, don't I? Yes, I do. So I do not make it all about me let me tell you something when I walk in a room. I walk into a room and draw attention because of the right things about me that draw attention, not because I'm a loudmouth, obnoxious, pain in the butt that just can't keep her big mouth shut. That is not true. That is not how I am, and I've worked a lot of years to make sure that I'm not like that. I have family members like that, and I do not want to be like that. So I'm drawing attention, and I want to draw attention. And I want to do the right thing with that attention. I want people to feel special. I want to make eye contact. I want to smile. I want to say something nice about somebody else if it's true. I don't want to just willy-nilly say crap that's not true. On the sidebar here, Starbucks has been doing this thing lately where they write something nice about you on the cup. Like, you're gorgeous, you're killing it, you rock. Well, I didn't know they started doing that. And somebody wrote, "You're gorgeous" on my cup. When I got my Starbucks, I backed off of Starbucks for a long time because I ran out of gift card, and then Courtney Campbell got me a $50 gift card to Starbucks. So I'm back in it, baby. I'm back in. And so they wrote, "You're gorgeous," and I couldn't believe it. I was like, I can't believe she wrote that. Well, little did I know they were writing it on everybody's cup, And so I was like, oh my gosh. So when they're writing it on everybody's cup, you just kind of go, okay, geez. It's like I just had a birthday. April 5th was my birthday. I turned 49. I don't, and people are like, I had put up a post on, a 49th trip around the sun or something like that, and put up a post, on Facebook. And then a bunch of people are like, oh my gosh, happy birthday. Well, that doesn't count. It doesn't count. It's people who remembered it without having to be reminded from a post. Those are people who actually matter. So anyway, I do not like blending in. If I ever go away and you don't hear from me again, that's not a good sign, because it's not in my personality to just completely go. I've been deeply, tremendously hurt. I am like, I don't know. If I ever go away and you don't hear from me, you probably should be worried, because that's just not in my personality to do that. I like to film. I like being on TV. I like making videos. I like being the voice of a movement of real food, water, and sleep, and spreading the message of hope and healing. I just like all that. And so blending in is my idea of being mediocre. I don't want to blend in. I don't want to be normal. I don't want to be mediocre. And so what drives me forward is my desire to my fear of just blending in. And because I'm 49, the big 50 is next year in 2026. And, I thank the Lord for the women nowadays who are just defying age. If you look back in the day of Golden Girls, those girls were about my age now. And yet, let me tell you, the 50 is the new 30. You cannot tell that these women are the age that they are. They're in their 50s and 60s, and they look like they're in their 30s and 40s. It's insane how women are aging backwards. It's just crazy. And we have so much technology. We have so many products. We have so many procedures to reverse aging nowadays. And of course, we really know the power of real food, water, sleep. We understand that sugar ages the skin. It does age the organs. It does speed up the aging process. Alcohol is horrific. Absolutely terrible for you in every single way. Alcohol is. So the women nowadays are really showing us that you can accomplish a lot in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Like, it's not even long gone are the days of the fat grandma, sitting in a rocking chair. Women are just not like that nowadays. They are incredible. And I have a fear of blending in, and I have a fear of being mediocre, and I have a fear of not being what I know I need to be. And that motivates me to be better. The second thing that motivates me is my insatiable question in my mind of why stop here in everything I do. Why would I stop here? Why would I stop now? Why stop now? I probably should call that why stop now. And this has to do with athletics and my business and my Belgian Malinois, who's my hobby, narcotics. That's my hobby, detection with my canine. That's what I do as a hobby. I train her. We detect narcotics, and everything I do, I think, gosh, if I can accomplish this, why can't I accomplish more? I'm constantly, and so your question might be in your mind, so you're never satisfied, Christy? No, yes and no. I do celebrate my wins. I celebrate my accomplishments. This $10 million award behind me, when I hit the 10 million mark, when I got that in the mail, it was awesome. I sat there, it was all I ever wanted was the $1 million award. Then I got 3 of those, and then I got this one. And then I stood there for maybe 5-6 minutes and admired it. And then the next thing on my mind was, okay, well, next award is 100 million. Let's go. That's the next thing I thought about, So why would I stop here? Why would I stop? I certainly, a lot of people would spend their whole life trying to achieve just a $1 million award. And again, I'm not judging you if that's you. In my mind, I was like, well, why would I stop at $1 million? And I didn't stop at 3 million, and I didn't stop at 10 million. So in my mind, why would that just pushes me forward. So I get my body fat down, to 16%, 15%. And I say to myself, well, actually body fat percentage, I'm actually not going to use that. I'm not going to use that as a good example, because it is dangerous for a woman to get in the single digits. And it really, no woman needs to be below 15%. And I can promise you pretty much every single person listening to this is nowhere near that. I mean, in my maintenance program, we want everybody to be at or under 25%. Really, women should not be above 25% body fat, but it's very rare to find any woman under 25% body fat. I mean, I think I was 26.6% when I started my transformation in my bodybuilding film, Code Red Diaries of Madness, and I got down to 9%. So that's a huge drop in body fat over the course of 6 months. And that's why I got so sick, because I dropped too much too quick. But I was trying to make a film, and I was trying to be cool, and I was trying to, win my competition, and it cost me my health in some cases. And so I was able to bounce back, but it definitely wasn't easy. So I don't want to say, well, if I can get down to 15% body fat, why would I stop here? I'm going to get down to 9. That's actually not a good example. But another example is, well, okay, so I did my bodybuilding competition. Why would I stop here? I can do another one. Okay, well, I can do another one. If I was able to run I ran my first half marathon in June 1st of 2024 at the age of 48. And I said to myself, why would I stop here? I could run, a 20K, or I could run, a full marathon. And I asked the other coaches, like, let's do a full marathon next. And they were all like, no, we don't want to do that. And I think that's fine. I don't think it's necessary to do a full marathon, but that's the way my mind works. Why would I stop now? What else can I accomplish? Surely, to me, there are no limits. And I've had people on podcasts ask me, what do you think limits women in business? Limits women in business? Are you kidding me? What year do you think it is? Women have every opportunity. We are not held back by anything. And it's swung so far the other way with DEI. And we're not going to get into that. But it has swung so far the other way that it would be so stupid for anybody to even utter the thought of like a woman not being able to accomplish a certain thing in my business or something like that. That's illegal. You can't do that. You can't hold women back from anything. That's just not going to happen. Women can own homes. I own 2. Women can own cars. I have my own Porsche. Women can vote. We can do anything. We can do anything. So why would being a woman hold me back from anything? That's absolutely and utterly ridiculous. We don't live in those times anymore. We have women that came before us that fought for our right to be able to do that. Now, do I think women and men are equal? We're equal, but we can't do the same things. We're not built for it. We're not made for that. I don't think that women should be in combat. I think women can be in the supportive roles, but I don't think women need to be in combat. And I'll stick by that, but to the day I die. The fact that we're letting women in combat, thank you God, not right now, is weakening our military. Our military is there to fight in wars. So I don't believe that there's no way I can pick up my trainer, Corey, and carry him with all his gear on my back out of enemy lines. I just can't. There's no, men cannot have babies. All right. There are things that we are created for. So we are equal, but we are not the same, if I'm saying that right. Or we're saying we're equal, but we accomplish different things. We're put on this earth for different things. And there are just certain tendencies that women have. And anyway, so now I'm getting a little bit down that rabbit hole, but I've never in a million years thought that I was held back because I was a woman. I've never experienced that. And I am adamant against anybody who would suggest otherwise, or to try to say that I'm held back because I'm a woman. Look at that. Look at what I have. Look at what I've been able to do. It's just not the way that the world is nowadays. We have every opportunity. And so I have this why stop here attitude, and the world is my oyster. I can accomplish anything I want. But my thing is, and so you're thinking, well, why don't you, Christy? Why don't you have the #1 weight loss company in the entire world? My thing is I live my life completely stress-free. And so I did have, like, for example, Alex Hormozy a few years ago. I had dinner with Alex and Layla Hormozy in Las Vegas, and they specifically said to me, if you want to come on board with acquisitions.com, where they take your company from 10 million to 30 million, 30 million to 100 million, then let us know. I did not take them up on that offer because I'm not willing to go through what it would take to accomplish that next level. Bottom line, I live my life completely and totally stress-free. I have no stress in my life. I have no drama. I have no problems, worries, anything. I wake up happy every day, and I only spend my day doing exactly what I want to do. I train, I run, I train my dog, I work out, I eat healthy food, I work, I make videos, and I outsource anything I don't like. I don't do anything I don't like. So I'm not willing to go through what I would have to go through just for a few more million. It's just not worth it to me. I don't need that. I don't want to accomplish that if it's going to sacrifice my peace, P-E-A-C-E, peace. So that's why I just drew the line and said, no, I don't want to go any further. Now, maybe opportunities will open up later on. I mean, I have my film. It's still trending in the top 10 on Amazon Prime, and it's opening up to other parts of the world. We don't know. I mean, other films might open up, and that could open up other opportunities. I'm willing to do more films. I'm willing to do more TV, as long as it doesn't cause me to be away from my dog, as long as it doesn't cause me more stress. I don't want to be away from my family very long. I don't want to travel extensively. So I have my boundaries, and I am not willing to give up my peace for money. I'm just not. I have plenty of money. I don't need more if it's going to cause me stress and anxiety and worry and sleepless nights and being away from my dog. That's just not the way I live my life anymore. But I have this mentality of why stop now? Why stop here? Let's see what else I can do. And it's always a possibilities are going through my mind where I'm like, well, shoot, we did it. That nobody ever thought anybody could, just going into space. Like we never knew it was possible until someone did it. And when I accomplish these things, I'm like, well, shoot, now let me see what else I can do. Well, shoot, I did that. Now let's try something even bigger. So I have this insatiable why stop now, why stop here kind of attitude on everything that I do. And it's insatiable. I do celebrate my wins. I do stop and smell the roses. I am very thankful for what I've accomplished, but it's not enough. Like, I'm not going to sit back and just live my life. I mean, I want to accomplish more. And the third thing that drives me each and every day, and what you would call motivates me, is setting an example for you. That motivates me. That pushes me and drives me harder every day, because temptation creeps in. The thought to quit and to stop and to sit on my couch and binge watch Netflix, it does creep in. Those thoughts creep in my head. But like Jesus was tempted, he didn't act on it, but he was tempted, and I am tempted as well sometimes. But I know you're watching, and I know me showing up is causing you to show up, because I'm suffering. I show up to my trainer whether I like it or not. I got this Belgian Malinois, and every single morning she needs a 3-mile run, and we do that between 4 and 4:30 a.m. every day. And I suffer through that. I don't want to do it sometimes. I really don't. And I know that when you see me, like on social media, because that's my connection to pretty much all of you, I know when you see me out there in the park and it's pitch dark and I've got my harness on and Hazel has her harness on and we're sweating and I'm looking at the camera like, you get up and you go take your dogs for a walk. I know it does that for you, because you guys send me messages all the time and you tell me this. And even if you weren't going to tell me, I know you do. I know, because I've been doing this a really long time. I've been an athlete for 30 years and I've been in this industry a lot. And I know that you guys watch, even my haters watch me. Hundreds of thousands of people are watching me. And I know that sometimes that's why I don't mind sharing the bad with you, because you can see that I can relate to you. You know, I'm going through it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it, but I do it anyway. I mean, the fact that I don't want to do it doesn't change anything. I made a promise to myself. I keep my promises to myself. So I'm going to do it, even though I'm screaming and crying and kicking. I mean, my trainer, Corey, will he'll put the pin in the weight stack and he'll say, all right, let's go 140 pound lat pull downs. And I grab the weight and I always say, oh my gosh, Corey, and I say to him, are you freaking serious? You want me to do a lat pull down for 8 reps with 140 pounds on my fourth set? We're in the third or fourth exercise in, we're 40 minutes into a workout. I'm trashed already. I can't even lift my arms. And you want me to do this 140 pound, 150 pound lat pull down for 12 reps? And he goes, yup. And I still do it. I'm complaining to him, but I'm still doing it. I still freaking did it. Just did it today before I started recording. 150 pound lat pull downs. Last set, 12 reps. I can't believe I did it. And when I first grabbed that lat pull down bar, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And I said that to him, you've got to be kidding me. So I can complain all I want. Doesn't get me out of the workout. All right. And by the way, working out has nothing to do with weight loss. That this is an area of my life that's a huge passion for me. So I use it as a way of an example. I'm not saying you need to do what I do. In fact, I'm not going to tell you to not work out. I'm not going to tell you to stop working out. I want you to know that working out has nothing to do with you losing weight. They're two very different things. We do work out when we get to maintenance. So me complaining and you seeing me complain and yet doing it anyway, you're like, okay. Christy's complaining, I'm complaining, but she still showed up. And that is pushing you to keep going. That's what you guys loved about my film, Code Red Diaries of Madness. You loved to watch me suffer, but still put one foot in front of the other. I am an example for you, and I'm an example of what you can do because I've had the weight regain. I was heavy. I lost the weight. I gained it back, and it took me almost 2 years to lose it again. What I lost in 2 months has taken me 2 years to lose, because that's what happens when you regain the weight. 10 times longer, it takes 10 times harder. It takes 10 times longer and it's 10 times harder to lose it again. That's why I'm so preaching against the regain, because I know firsthand what it's like. You guys like that about me. You like that I've gone through exactly what you've gone through. I have been through some really hard times. I've been through divorces. I've helped raise a kid. I've been through horrible credit repossessions, 2 repossessions on my record from a guy I was married to. I clawed my way out of a horrible debt. I had a 320 credit score and now it's an 820. These are some really great success stories that I've had in my life. And that is what you love to hear. You love to see the suffering and you love to see the triumph. And that's what is in your mind when you feel like stopping and when you feel like quitting and when you feel like giving up, when you feel like going face down and a tin full of brownies, when you feel like going out to Olive Garden and ordering Alfredo and dipping the breadsticks in it, when you feel like having Costco pizza instead of going home and making the food that you just bought, when you feel like going face down an entire bottle of wine, you think about me. Because I know what that feels like, and I fight it every day. I fight the food noise. I fight the food pressure. I know what you're going through. And that's what pushes me. That's what pushes me. Knowing that all of you are watching me. It keeps crap out of my mouth, and it keeps me moving forward. Knowing that my Code Red business and company going from food stamps to 10 million is what really drives a lot of you in your business to keep going when it feels tough. Because I cannot tell you how many times over the last 10 years that I've been incorporated with the state of Idaho, how many times I've almost lost Code Red. How many times I had to dip into my own investments to pay salaries. I have been knocked down, lawsuits, firing employees, losing my own sister. So many times that I have gone through horrible situations and I came back stronger and I came back triumphant. And by golly, in the face, when so many companies went bankrupt and when so many companies went under, weight loss companies, and when so many companies quit, I still have not. my competition. People have left Code Red. They have trashed me. They have tried to start their own competitive business and they've gone under. And Code Red is still standing. We're still going strong. And that motivates you to keep going in your business. And that motivates you to keep going with what you're doing, with even homeschooling your kids. I did not homeschool. I didn't birth a child out of my birthing canal, but I helped raise one. And I've gone through some of that with my sister's kids. Just some of it. I'm not comparing myself to you 100%. I could never do that, and I would never do that. But some of you moms that are homeschooling, oh, you have no idea how much respect I have for you. And you're looking at me, and you're like, and you're watching some 33-second reel on Instagram while you're going potty, and I'm saying something to you that's causing you to keep going. And that's part of why I do this, because you're putting your phone down, your kids are screaming outside the bathroom door, and you're like, God dang, freaking kids are driving me nuts. But you know what? Christy is showing up, and somehow you're showing up because of me. And that does push me to keep going. That does motivate me. Fear of being mediocre, number one. Number two, I have this insatiable why stop here kind of mentality. And number three, I show up and I'm motivated by the fact that you are watching me and you need me to keep showing up when I feel like quitting. You need me to be my best. You do. You need me to push through adversity. You need me to get back up off the ground. You need me. And I need you. You know, we have a coach named Melanie Wyman. You guys all know her. Melanie is a school teacher in Lansing, Michigan. And she would not view herself, you know, she would be somebody that probably would say, I want to blend in. She'd probably say that about herself. You know, she doesn't wear any makeup. She's very small and she just doesn't, she doesn't have a very loud life. She's not really on social media. She doesn't live her life very loudly. She doesn't make big, bold statements on politics. And she's very quiet, very much keeps to herself. She has her kids. She has her husband. She has her job. She has a very structured, routine life. And she doesn't think, I know she doesn't know how much she keeps me going. But that girl has been the most consistent person when it comes to weightlifting over the past 2 years. She reached maintenance. Like you can reach maintenance just losing the weight, just getting down to goal weight. But then she started bodybuilding. And slowly but surely she stuck to it. And she has been grinding. She has never stopped her program. She's taken days off, of course, but those are structured days off. Even when she went on a mission trip to Africa, she still stuck to her program. And she has never once stopped in 2 years. And every month when the coaches send me their progress pictures, I look at Melanie and she is one solid muscle. She has muscles upon muscles upon muscles. She's got cute little 6-pack abs and she has completely transformed her body. She's completely gotten rid of her body fat. She would laugh at me if she heard this. I don't know if she listened to my podcast, but she is a muscle mama. I've never seen anything like it. But she shows up and the going has been rough for her. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to divulge any confidential information, but she's had her rough go of it. The going's been rough for Melanie, but she's shown up. And every month I look at her and I smile and my heart smiles and I say, and I draw strength from her the way you draw strength from me. We all draw strength. Not we all draw strength from each other, but we draw strength from people. We do. Knowing you draw strength from me, it keeps me going. It does. And I hope Melanie knows that I'm watching her, and I know Melanie's showing up every single morning at between 4 and 4:30 a.m. She goes to the gym while her family's sleeping, while everybody's sleeping. She goes to the gym every morning. Every morning. And I think about Melanie when I feel like I don't want to go. And I think about her progress pictures and how good she looks. And it makes me want to get up and go. And she would never even know that. She probably is listening to this right now and she can't believe it. Well, it's true, Melanie. I do. I think about you. You make me want to go. You make me want to keep grinding away. And I know I do that for you. I know I do that for you. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Rebel Weight Loss and Lifestyle. What motivates me? The 3 things that motivate Christy to keep going in every area of my life. That includes being a dog mom, being a handler, a canine narcotics handler, my bodybuilding, my Code Red business, being a sister and a daughter to my mom, my sisters, all that stuff. This is why I show up. I'll see you on the next one.